Okay, so it's time for a quick market update for our daily update, just to see what price has done, see where we are as far as our trades have been, and what the plan might be moving forward. So, first things first, we are currently in a long trade. This was given, I believe, yesterday. Let's take a look. So, as of yesterday, we said we're keeping an eye on a few levels. No, this is not the right one. This is Euro USD. Let's see if we've got our Bitcoin trade. Is that over here? Yeah, so Bitcoin. We said Bitcoin is playing in this range. All right. We said we had transition in market structure from bullish to bearish. And then we had a flip again from bearish to bullish. We had our break-in structure there. We had a retracement. And then we had a markup. We broke structure here again. And then we reacted off this 24-minute supply zone, which resulted in a markdown, Trinity Model 2. Now we marked down and we stopped at this 1 hour demand zone. And we said this is a beautiful place to get a high and low. So remember, what does market structure says? Market structure says when you break structure, you retrace and you have your continuation. Mind you, this was a deep retracement. So I'm sure this kind of looks like it was at the 786 level if you use Fibonacci. But this was a zone we're looking for a long, and we said this is trade number R3, so a range model number 3, which is simply a long of a demand zone. All right, but what were we looking for here? We were looking for clear market structure change. We were looking for market cipher to show bullish divergences, and we were looking for some follow through. So let's see how that played out. So if we go back, use the bar replay tool, and right around there, let's go to about the 12-minute. And we can see over here, it's not the tidiest chart, but bear with me. We can see that, as price marked down, we had tap number 1, tap number 2, tap number 3. That's our Trinity Model 1. We broke out of said range. This is the top of our range. And then we kind of just arranged again in this region, all right? But as we range in this region, again, we had a nice model setting up. We had, I don't know if you would have seen this, but we had our tap number 1, tap number 2 of that range low, and then a tap number 3. Okay, now this tap number 3, I'm guessing, would have propelled us, to further higher action. But let's see what transpired if we use the bar replay tool. Put it in 3 seconds. So we played around in that region. Now, this wasn't what I was expecting, I'll be honest. After reaction of this 1 hour demand zone, I was expecting nice follow through. I was expecting a very aggressive move up. And that's why in the Discord this morning, where we've got our private chat, I did say we're accumulating for longer than usual in this 1 hour zone. And, we have sort of tagged that 1 hour demand cascade, but there is a 5-minute untagged demand underneath. If we lose that demand, then of course we can rotate to the range low. But we're watching that zone. Bearing in mind, I was already in a long. I entered my long. If we look at the profit wall, my long, I entered at 65,868. And that's doing quite well. It's over 100% in profit at the moment, which is good. Stop loss to entry, so that's a decent trade. But let's go back and let's see what happens. So, price played around that region, started to mark down, marked down, kind of broke bearish out of that range. Almost tagged that 5-minute zone, but didn't quite tag the zone. It came back into the 1 hour zone. Chances are it probably reacted, off some sort of level here. I'm sure if you have a look, it's probably reacted off some sort of level there. All right, so what did price do shortly after that? Okay, we're still in profit in our long, so we're still holding that long. We're waiting to see. Now we're waiting to see, is price going to break out of this range? Because of course it's kind of just made a new range. This is a new range. All right, so we're seeing what is price going to do. What did price end up doing? It played around. We're waiting to see, and then boom, breaks out of that range, which is good. That's exactly what we want to see. Now let's see. As we broke out of that range, that leaves us to where we are at the moment. So that trade is very well in profit. Stop loss has been moved to entry, so we've de-risked that trade, and we are playing with house money at the moment. So well done to any one of you that got into that trade, and for those who didn't, there will be more trades, and we're going to talk about where the next trades might be. All right. So let's see. So we've obviously broken out of that level. We've started that, the rally up from the, 4-hour high low. Now the target for this trade, of course, if it's a 4-hour high low, so what do we expect? If it's a 4-hour high low, now if it's a strong low, we expect market structure to at least look to retest this high. Okay, we expect it to look to retest that high if it's going to be a strong low. But in the case that it's not going to be a strong low, what's going to happen is market structure it's going to rally up, and then it may shift, it may transition in market structure and come further down for this low perhaps. In the case that happens, you're looking to see where can we potentially get a reaction. Now that reaction can happen anywhere here, but what's the highest probability area for that reaction to happen? Now in my opinion, to understand where that might be, you have to look at the old range. And when you do that, you can see that if we take the volume profile of that range, so let's say the range high, if we take that as a range high over there, we can see that we've got a value area low, a POC, and our value area high. Now if we also look at what our supply and demand zones are doing, we can see that we have a 2-hour zone in that region. Now that 2-hour zone is very beautifully marrying up with that POC. Okay, so I think this is the highest probability area for which we are going to get a reaction in the case that we have a change in structure before we get to that high. Of course, I would recommend you look out for this level over here, so the value area low. Look out for what happens at the POC, and chances are if we get to the point where we're actually getting close to that value area high, the chances are you're probably going to come up there and look to take out that high. All right, so that's why I'm looking out for my next trade. I'm looking for a short off this zone. That will also be a take profit point for myself, and I'm just looking to see what price does as we rally up. Now in the case that we rally all the way up, in the case that price does this, it rallies all the way up, breaks structure, that supply zone fills, and we carry on going up, I'm going to look at this high point here to see can we get a rotation down, so that will be another region I would be looking for a trade. And in the case that we close above that level, so if we get a candle close above that level, I would be looking at this range high. All right, I'll be looking at this range high to see whether we can get a potential deflection off this range high. That will take us to the 74k, and that's the 74k that everyone is waiting for. That's the region whereby we may potentially get that second entry. That second entry could be the initiation for the real rally down for Bitcoin, that real retracement for Bitcoin, which we've been talking about in this channel for a very long time. So let's see what price does. Price is on that journey. Let's see if it can go all the way up and reclaim those levels. All right, so now what else are we looking out for? Let's get rid of this drawing at the moment. So obviously we're looking for a retracement there. We've got our trade there, and if we go higher, we're looking to get a trade at that range high. All right, but what else can price do? Well, to understand that, you just have to understand where we are as far as market structure goes. Now, as far as market structure goes, we've reached this all-time high. We've retraced, we've formed this range, we've confirmed this range, we've ranged down, we've come up, we're looking to retest that range. We still have our range high. Now in the case that we retest that range high, I would be looking to short that. That's my range model 1. I'm looking to short that. All right, looking to look for SFP off that level to short that all the way down. Now in the case that price does this, in the case that price actually changes structure before it gets to that range high, in that case, I would be looking for this level again for a potential long, okay? Or I would be looking to look for a potential long off that extreme, okay? So that would be where I'll be looking for my next few trades. Of course, like every other range model, if price breaks out of our range, so if we just have a look at the whiteboard to exemplify what I'm saying. So if we've got a range, and if price breaks out of our range, let's say it breaks out on the bullish side. If it breaks out of our range, I'm going to be looking for that retracement leg at the range extreme for some more further upward action. So I will be looking to long that right there in the case we get a break. And my stop loss in that case would be quite tight. Hopefully that will be confluent with our value area high. If it isn't, it's not the end of the world. As long as we see a change in market structure, I will long that. Now, in the case we break down from our range, now if we do something like this, okay, we break down from that range, again, I'm looking to enter on that retest, and that would be where I enter my short trade. So my short trade will be right around there, okay? So that's what I'm looking out for as far as my extremes go. Where are my extremes? Well, my range high is over there, coming in at 74,219, and my range low is over there, coming in at 60,000, about 60,766. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for in terms of this range. There is not much to talk about. I guess you could take a volume profile from the actual range high all the way to where we are now. By the looks of it, oh, look at that, beautiful reaction. By the looks of it, we got a nice reaction. 1 second, let me just get rid of all this rubbish. I'll get rid of that, we don't really need that. Okay, we don't really need that. Okay, cool. So by the looks of it, we got a nice reaction of the value area low of the entire range. All right, and that's where we're getting a reaction from. Now, I'm sure you Fibonacci traders out there would also realize, and I'm sure lots of you would have long this, but I'm guessing this is also a fib zone. So if we take a pull from the range low to the range high, and we change that so we can see our fib levels, we've got, yeah, exactly. So we've got our golden ratio coming in there. You can't quite see that, so I'm going to make that thick, make it thick. So that would make it times 4. We can see that was exactly where we got a bounce from our golden ratio there. All right. So even though I don't use fibs all the time, you can't argue that, because most retail traders use Fibonacci as an integral part of their trading. It kind of works. All right. So we got that as a really juicy zone actually, which makes me think, we're looking to come higher on that one. So if you are in that long, make sure you have de-risked that trade, and make sure you are watching your gains and watching your profits. All right. So that's pretty much it for Bitcoin. We've got some announcements. First things first, I just want to give a quick shout out to everyone who's been following the channel. So we've had some followers, and it keeps going up and up by the day, by the week, by the month. All right. So we've had quite a few followers. We're at 73 at the moment. We're looking to get to at least 100 by the end of April. Now let's see if we can get there. Now we've had a decent amount of people comment, and a decent amount of people get in touch on Discord, which is great, and it's great to see. But I would like to encourage all of you, please, as you make these profits, as you make these gains, make sure you are putting it on the profit wall, so we can all see and we can all celebrate, and we can all make money together. All right. Well, this is a Discord group. I also post trades over here. I post my setups, my thoughts as I go on over here. We've also got our video that's connected to YouTube, and we've got a VIP channel. VIP channel is kind of for the people who are subscribed to Trade Journal, but just as a new member, you're going to get lots of information regardless. But anyway, this is the Discord. Feel free to join if you want. It's completely free, and I will catch you in there. All right, so the next announcement is, as from today, I'm going to be doing some Euro USD trades. So we're going to be looking at Euro USD as well. I'm going to do a separate video for that one. So we're going to be looking at some Euro. I can't even speak today. I'm so tired, and I'm off to the gym after this, so I need to summon some energy for that. I'm going to be looking at some Euro USD trades. I'm going to be giving some signals, some setups. So keep an eye out for this if you do trade the Euro USD pair. And that's pretty much it. That's all we've got time for today. Make sure as you are trading, you are journaling your trade. Make sure you're tracking each trade. Make sure you're tracking your thinking framework, your thought patterns, your mistakes. Do you keep making the same mistakes time and time again? Do you keep over leveraging? Do you keep forgetting to move your stop loss to entry? Do you keep holding on to losing trades? Or does your emotions change as you enter a trade? Do you go from, slight concern, anxiety to euphoria, and then do you leave it thinking you're going to make profit for the entire trade, and then all of a sudden you're in drawdown, all of a sudden you get liquidated and you're like, damn. So just make sure you're tracking your thought process, because as you are increasing your portfolio, you need to be iteratively improving your psychology as a trader. Okay, so I'm here to help as best as I can, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop me a message. There's going to be lots of new announcements coming. There's going to be a website coming on. There's going to be some reels going out, so definitely stay tuned. So if you found this information useful, if you want more content like this, feel free to hit that follow button and make sure you boost the video. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow.